Good morning, everybody. My name is Jeff Vilwalk, and I appreciate you watching this video with me. Very important topic. Why do people not buy a business? Hopefully, you've already seen the video that shows and talks about, would you buy a business? Do you start a business? What's the difference? Why should you buy one rather than start one? And it's a no-brainer, right? I mean, you buy a business, all of a sudden you've got a salary, all of a sudden you've got benefits, you've got something that's already started, hopefully something that's already successful. Where you're starting a business, you have none of that, and you've got a 95% chance of failure. So it doesn't make any sense. But so if it's so obvious that you should buy a business rather than start a business, why do people not do it? Okay, the first thing, Zig Ziglar. I don't know if you know who Zig Ziglar is. Great author, motivational speaker. Now passed away, but he canned this term "stinking thinking," which means you're just thinking wrong. You're thinking wrong, and it gets in the way. You've got the wrong mindset. So many people think that you need education. Oh my God, I don't have a college education. Oh my God, I don't have an MBA. I can't possibly buy and run a business. Totally crazy. Of course you can. Who said that you needed an education to run a business? Bill Gates didn't finish college. You realize that? You know how many successful people there are that didn't finish high school or didn't even finish college? It's unbelievable. Michael Dell Computers. Yeah, he was at University of Texas, dropped out, selling computers out of his dorm. I think he did okay. I think he did all right. George Foreman, heavyweight boxing champ of the world, right? Foreman drills. No education. He's a high school dropout. How about John D. Rockefeller? You probably don't know the Standard Oil Company unless you're my age. Standard Oil Company is now known as Exxon. He started it. He was the world's he was the world's wealthiest man. Back 80, 90 years ago. He was the Bill Gates of his generation. High school dropout. Henry Ford didn't finish college. David Murdoch, you ever heard of Dole Foods? Bunch of publishing houses, media, didn't finish the ninth grade. Yet somehow he made it. Okay, so it's not education. Okay, Steve Jobs, college dropout. Mark Zuckerberg, college dropout. Larry Ellison, Oracle, college dropout. How about high school dropouts? Seriously? They couldn't even finish high school? Ray Kroc, McDonald's. Jay-Z. Robert De Niro. Walt Disney. You get the idea now? Lots of people who've been very, 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 very successful, more successful than you and I are likely to ever be in our lifetimes, didn't have education. Education is not the ticket to entrepreneurship. Education is not the ticket to buying a business successfully. So, education is not an excuse. You don't feel you're educated enough? Well, join the club. Join the club. So, it's not, general education is not what you need, right? Okay, so what else? Well, hell, I've never bought a business before. I mean, it's scary stuff. And it is. Hey, don't get me wrong. It's scary to go out and try to buy a business. You'll be scared every day. But you know what? No one on the face of this earth has ever bought a business before they bought their first business. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Okay, you think that Zuckerberg and all the businesses he's bought, first business that he bought was the first business that he bought. Okay, every single I mean, it just makes sense. If you never bought a business, you never bought a business. You buy your first one, it's your first. So if you haven't bought a business before and you buy a first business, it will be your first by definition. There's no other way around it. And everybody who's ever made an acquisition, anybody that's ever made an acquisition, had to make their first acquisition. And when they made their first acquisition, they had never done it before. So, no excuse. You never bought one before? So what? Here's the next one. I can't stay motivated. I can't get up every morning and do what I'm supposed to be doing, to buy a business. People get motivated when they've got a vision. So what's your vision? Well, my vision is to buy a local bakery. My vision is to, buy a big business that, is doing the business I bought over $30 million a year in revenue. Great. You get this vision in your head, and then what? You have to take action about it. You got to do something about it. Dreams don't turn into vision unless you take action. Okay, and dreams without action is basically daydreaming, right? Yeah, never going to get there. So what Nike do? Yeah, just do it. I mean, at some point, guys, if you're going to be successful in doing this, you just have to figure out what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Take one baby step forward every day and just do it. See, faith is a verb. It is an action. So do you have faith in yourself? You have faith in the business that you're buying? You have faith that you're doing this on purpose? Good. Then go do it. Take the next action step. What is that? Action recreates motivation. Think about a gym. I mean, how many of us say, yeah, I got to go to the gym this year? New Year's resolution, right? How many of us actually do that? I know I don't. I mean, I play pickleball from time to time. But the thought of me getting up and going to a gym every day and getting on a treadmill and, oh, God, so boring. Can't do it. Not doing it. I'm not motivated to get to the gym, but I'm motivated to buy a company. And if I'm motivated to buy a company, I take action. Where I'm not motivated with the gym, I don't take action. So the question becomes, are you motivated? Do you have what it takes to have the vision, to have the motivation, to take the action? Okay, so we've covered lack of education, not an issue. Never bought a business before, join the club. Nobody's ever bought a business that hasn't bought a business. Can't stay motivated, I get it. But wait a second, I don't have the money to buy a business. So who made up that rule? Who said you need dollars to buy a business? And right now your brain's saying, whoa, wait a second. No, don't you understand? I'm buying a business for $5 million. I need $5 million. No, you don't. And we'll show you why. Some of the largest acquisitions in history have been made with no cash. Multi-billion-dollar transactions, no cash. All right? Think about real estate. If you own real estate, you can leverage your next piece of real estate with no cash. It's pretty simple. All right? Happens all the time. That's why real estate empires are built one property at a time. You got one property, it cash flows. Now, you may have had to put cash 20% down in the first property, but once you get that one, it cash flows, it grows in value. You borrow off that value and you buy the next one. Same idea. So we're going to show you step by step exactly how to do this. All right, so, why don't people buy businesses? Even if I did have the education, even if I did have the experience, even if I did have the motivation, even if I did have the money to buy a business, you still don't know how to buy a business, do you? No, because you've never done it before. It's like, first time you ride a bicycle. Do you know how to ride a bicycle? No, you don't. You get on a bicycle, you fall off, get on the bicycle, fall off, get on the bicycle, fall off. Are you motivated to get on the bicycle? Yeah, you want to ride just like all your other friends are riding. So at a 5-year-old, you get on a bicycle and finally you figure it out. Oops, I got it. And from that day forward, you know how to ride a bicycle. How about skiing? How about tennis? How about anything in life? Of course, you don't know how to do it unless you've done it. So, we're going to show you how. Because you can learn. People have been learning for forever, right? So, you can learn how to buy a business. So, what's the name of this course again? Oh, yeah, that's right. How to buy a business with no money down. So, we're going to show you exactly how to do that. Realize, what other excuses do you think you've got that you can't do this? Right? Whatever they are, there's a solution for it. You don't know how to run a business. Okay, I get it. You never run a business before. You don't know how to run a business. Great. Hire somebody who does. Get the current owner of the business to stay around to teach you. Get the current owner of the business to continue to run the business for you. All sorts of alternatives. You don't need to know how to run a business before you buy a business. You afraid of failing? Well, of course you are. So is everybody who's ever done anything, whether it's going out to write your first novel or buy your first business, or you get into the workplace, you graduate from college, then what? My God, I've got this, now I've got this job interview. Oh my God, they hired me. Now what do I do? You'd never know anything until you've done it. Okay, so everybody's afraid of failing. You can join a local business group of owners. I mean, there are all sorts of clubs. There's CEO clubs. There's community clubs that you can join that have other CEOs there. Sit down, learn from them. Just get into a discussion group with them. So, because frankly, whatever skill you lack, it can be found. I mean, particularly post pandemic, what are people doing? Well, they've got their gig economy. They're working at home, and home may be anywhere in the world these days. You got tons of Americans that are living everywhere outside of America and doing consulting work. We live in an outsourced world. You need something, it's available. And typically it's available at a very inexpensive cost. So let's go out and buy a business, shall we? I'll show you how to buy a business. First thing you need to do, find a business. And I'm going to show you how to find motivated sellers. You need to analyze the business. Okay, what do these financials mean? What's an SDE? What's a EBITDA? We'll show you all that. We'll lay it out in song and verse. So I'll give you the spreadsheets, I'll give you the tools, and I will personally show you how to do it. Secure the transaction. Don't know what that means? Don't worry, I'll teach you. So you got to tie it down. You got to make sure it's yours. And then, of course, you need to finance the transaction. I mean, if you're buying a business for $5 million, the $5 million's got to come somewhere. There's a lot of places it can come from, and it doesn't need to be your pocket. Lots of different ways to get financing when you need to close a transaction. And actually, it's kind of fun to figure it out. It's almost like a chess game. Okay, so I got this guy is willing to do this for me. I got this guy is willing to do that for me. How do we get this thing together to pull it all together? Well, I'll show you how. And then closing the transaction. That's the fun part. So you found a great business. You figured out how much you want to pay. You structured it appropriately. You've raised the funding. Now you do the deal. And in fact, a little secret, when you do the deal, you can actually get paid. Yeah, when I did my last deal, I got paid $150,000. That's pretty cool, isn't it? And I just bought it. Can't do that if you're starting a business from scratch. Okay, so you think, well, yeah, okay, I get all that, Jeff, but I still need a trusted advisor, which is great because you've got me. I know that today you've kind of seen an overview. You've seen the webinar. You've done maybe the first module. You're in the second module now. And now maybe you understand you actually can do this, but you still don't want to go alone. And I get it. You want a trusted advisor by your side. That makes perfect sense. So what's this number? What is it? It's let's see. It's $2,535,855 and 835. I'm sorry, $855,835. What is that? Oh yeah, that's the dollar value of transactions that I've done. $2,535,000,000 worth of transactions that I've done. I think I can help you. So why don't you hire me? I mean, that's one alternative, right? You just go out and hire somebody like me. That's great. So, when I get hired to do an M&A deal, minimum monthly retainer, and this is minimum, $10,000 a month, and a deal typically takes about 6 months. So you're at $60,000, whether or not the deal closes. If you get right down to the end and for some reason it blows up, like COVID hits. I mean, the big deal that I did, the $30 million deal, I had to get that funded 3 times because I was supposed to go closing in March of 2020. Well, what happened in March of 2020? COVID hit the world. Guess what? The lender didn't like that. So I had to get it financed again. So $60,000. Now, I also charge a success fee at the end of that. And it's all based on the value of the transaction. And depending on the value, it's going to be somewhere between 2 and 5%. Average fee, $350,000. And by the way, that's in addition to the retainers. So what's the alternative? Well, how about we do an online video course and I teach you exactly how to do it? Does that make more sense, or you want to hire me? By the way, if you want to hire me, that's great. Send me an email. We'll start talking. But just understand what you're doing. Okay, the online course is going to have a private chat room so you can talk to each other. And there's going to be weekly Q&A calls with me. So what have we done here? Yeah, I want to mentor as many people as I can. I love teaching. I mean, I've been director of research of a couple of investment banking firms. I've trained dozens of analysts. I love teaching. So I created this 6-part course to teach you step by step how to find a business, how to negotiate the purchase, how to finance it, how to close it. And in fact, there's going to be some bonus materials as to what happens after you close it. As part of the course, we're going to give you access to a private chat room where you can meet with each other and talk about your deals. You can put up questions there. From time to time, I may chime in and answer questions in the private chat room. And we're going to have other resources here, to help you, people that you can talk to. But there's a private area so you can talk about, hey, one of the things that I've seen people do is get into accountability groups where, let's say you find 3 people in the Northeast are both all doing the same thing. You get together. Hey, who'd you talk to this week? Hey, where are you in this deal? And you just bounce ideas off of each other. You create a community. It's great. People learn so much better in a community. Then every week I'm going to do a 1-hour Q&A call. All right, we're going to set it up where it's on Zoom or Team or somebody, but we're going to set this thing up, and I'll spend the first half teaching about something. So I'll take a piece of the course, tear it apart, do a live teaching, and then open it up for questions and answers. And I've done probably 100 of these calls, and it's fascinating. It's fun for me, because I get questions about all sorts of industries all over the world, and I'll do my best to get you straight answers. So, how to buy a business without cash? We got a 6-part course. Congratulations, you're in the middle of it. Keep on going. Learn at your own pace. All right. There's no extra points for speed. In fact, I would tell you, the faster you go through this, the less you'll learn. Let the messages kind of wash over you. Make them part of you. Go back, look at something again if you don't quite get it. We've got a lot of collateral material that goes with the modules themselves. The modules are only 30 to 45 minutes. Sometimes maybe we got one in there that's an hour. So, I mean, we try to keep them short, to the point, and then add a bunch of collateral material like this video to to help you get where you want to go. Give us feedback. You got the email. You got the private chat room. Give us some feedback. If you're having issues, let us know about it. Okay, and then participate. Get into the chat rooms. Build a community with other people, that are like-minded. Maybe they're looking at the same industry you're looking at. Maybe they're looking in the same geography you're looking at. Don't worry about them competing with you. That's total BS. Just get in community with them. Learn from each other. And then you can be on the Q&A calls as long as you like. It's all complimentary. You take the course. I mean, you're paying your money every month. That's it. Go out and do it, will you please? So, what's next? Time to get going here. Everything that's worth doing is done one step at a time. You feel overwhelmed? Of course you do. Not a surprise. And whatever, what do you do when you get overwhelmed? I mean, I'm overwhelmed on a regular basis from all the things that I'm doing. And I have to take a step back. I close my eyes. I take a very deep breath, breathe out, and say, okay, what's the one thing I need to do next? You look at it one thing at a time, not daunting. You look at the whole thing, and it's overwhelming. You remember the old adage about how to eat an elephant? I'm waiting for you to respond here. You know how to eat an elephant? Yeah, one bite at a time. That's all you can do. And we're here to support you all the way. So congratulations for getting in the course. We're very excited to have you here. We're going to see you in the weekly meetings, and we're going to help you get to where you want to go. With that, I'm going to sign off here. Have a great day. Thanks.